Hola, hello, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, June 28th, and I am here to speak with you this morning about vulnerability. I am having to rush this morning because I have a lot of traveling to do, and it is about 7:30 in the morning. God, I'm sweating. Anyway, because I just took a shower and it's warm here in Amsterdam, but a rainy day. I am here to speak about vulnerability. Vulnerability, oh my God, vulnerability. Jesus Christ. If I did not live my life, I would not be here without being vulnerable. I tell you, I've realized that in life, in order to do new things or in order to advance or to advance in my person, I have to own my story. That means that I feel feel very, of course, insecure. As you know, you've been here with my channel. And insecurity can get in the way and it can control you, and it can, if you have a feeling of that you have to be perfect all the time, and that can rule and run your life. And when that happens, you can shut down. And I can tell you that the feelings of when you are vulnerable are so strong that you just want to run away from everything. But I am here to tell you that everything in my life I have done required me to be vulnerable, because I didn't know that. What I can tell you is that every time that I've been vulnerable, I've learned so much about myself, and it is super difficult, I have to say, to open up to those, I don't know, wounds, I guess you would say, if I compare that to. Vulnerability, I have to say that being myself, I'm a gay man, so being open requires me to be vulnerable and to feel, just to feel my emotions when I have stepped out of myself, to allow myself to be myself, and vulnerability has nothing to do with people pleasing. It is a strength, and it is daring, and daring greatly. And vulnerability, I believe, is the key to life. If you allow yourself to go through certain emotions and realize that on the other side is you, I have to say. So being vulnerable, I will tell you a little bit since my profession. I started when I was very young, of course. I've always known I was gay since I was about 7 years old. And I've always known that in a way. I don't know how, but I was just born this way. So everything around me was saying that it was wrong. So that was my first experience of just feeling wrong. And that I adopted that mask, as you'd say. Like, I adopted that mask when I was really young to wear that I was this perhaps straight person who was fitting into everything, and I played all the sports, and I felt I tried to make myself walk a certain way and to appear apparently strong or something like that. Well, that has haunted me my entire life, and if you've been watching my channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So in order for us to do anything new, we must be vulnerable. And I would not be here without being vulnerable, because everything that I've done in my life has brought up certain emotions, and I felt like I didn't fit in, and I felt like I was just this kind of alien, and I feel like that sometimes, and you know, those emotions arise. And being vulnerable, especially if you relate to being a perfectionist, we all have that in us because of our conditioning and our early bringing, and being a perfectionist is not attainable, because there's no such thing as being perfect. And I like to say that life is already perfect as it is. But because of our conditioning and our domestication and growing up, we feel as though we try to create this persona that we are strong, and so we get into like very weird kind of characters that are arrogant, or, you know, and I don't like that kind of stuff. But anyway, vulnerability, you know, when I left the dance profession, I felt very good in the dance profession because I could hide behind my language, and and I love to dance and I love to give that way. But when I became a ballet master in the Royal Swedish Ballet, wow, I even lied to myself because I lied to myself to tell myself that I knew exactly what I was doing, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because I'd never done it before. And I'm being vulnerable right here because a lot of dancers and a lot of people from the dance community maybe are watching this or eventually will watch this. And I have to say that if I had not, after some time, I realized that I was playing a charade with myself and I was pretending to myself that I knew how to do things. And I wanted to be perfect, and I wanted everyone to like me, and I wanted everyone to like what I did and everything. And that was just a mask that I was wearing because I wanted to be accepted. And I was back to being this little boy in school who was teased and bullied and all of these kind of things. And I just wanted people to like me so I would feel safe. Well, that is not the key to my life, and so it's not. I'm here to talk about that, just vulnerability to express that it is so important to be vulnerable because it is seen. I see it as a strength, and a lot of people who can attest to this, who knows that being vulnerable, you learn so much about yourself, and you gain power from being vulnerable. Everything that I've done in my life with being a ballet master, with being a teacher, a classical ballet teacher, an improvisation teacher, dance teacher, whatever, being a choreographer, I think let me just talk about vulnerability being a choreographer. I can tell you right now that the very first thing that I created, and there was an audience, after that finished, I felt the emotions of insecurity so big that I ran away from the theater, and I just wanted to get away from everybody because I was feeling so insecure and vulnerable. And I wanted to run away from being vulnerable and running away. And God, I adopted that. And I tell you, it ruined my life, and so therefore I couldn't explore. I started something that I would have to explore these emotions of feeling vulnerable, because when you do something for the first time, you don't know how to do it basically, and you're learning, but you have the dream to be that, or the dream to accomplish something because you desire and you want it, and you're entitled to it because everybody's entitled to do what they want, especially in this Western world where we have freedom to choose those things. But it can be a trap in your mind, and I have let go of my life is run with being vulnerable. It's when I teach a class, when I choreograph a piece, I am tapping into this vulnerability, and it gets easier because I can relate to myself, and I cannot people please. When you're being vulnerable, you are not people pleasing, let me tell you. You are certainly not. You're pleasing yourself, and you're learning a lot from that. And I think it's the key to success, however you define that. I define success as being a better person and accepting all of my flaws because they become my strengths. And that, I think, is a very, very beautiful thing, a relationship to yourself. There's a book by Brené Brown called Daring Greatly, and it is all about vulnerability. And it's such a great book, and it really just gets right to the point of being vulnerable and being kind to yourself and going through it. The only way is through any situation, allowing yourself to feel like you don't know and to express that you're vulnerable. And don't try to wear this mask that you're like, have it all together, and you do. Maybe perhaps you do, but I think that when you are kind to yourself and allow yourself to walk into a room. Sometimes when I walk into a room, I feel like when all eyes on me. I have to run a room. I've run a room of 90, 100 people before. And before that, I can feel so vulnerable that it can run my life. And I can feel so insecure and not valid and everything, but I persevere. And I'm here to tell you that the magic of life is right through that. So I'm here to encourage you to be vulnerable, and I hope you get something out of this morning and dare greatly in your life. You know, our life stories are, you are not your story. Let me just tell you, not your story. So realizing that you are beautiful, unique, important, valuable, and courageous when you allow yourself to be vulnerable. I wish you a beautiful day, and I hope you can ponder that, and I hope you got something out of this. If you're here for the first time, comment, subscribe. I need subscribers to keep going. Of course, I want to get 100. So I'm on my way there, and all my subscribers that are coming back, I love you very much, and I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you for watching, and yeah. Do it, and do it with humor, and have fun with yourself, and let go, and allow yourself to feel these feelings. It's not that bad. Just feel these feelings, and it's just such a beautiful thing. It could be a beautiful world if we would all just be more and more vulnerable. I love you, and have a nice day, and ciao. Bye-bye.